Aha!
Alright, welcome aboard everybody. We have just a quick flight here. I saw those clouds over on the horizon as the sun was coming up, and we do have a couple flights with some really quick ones. It's going to be a great time to go have a look around. I didn't realize Sandy Island was that far away. Alright, well, good thing we did bring an afterburning engine. Yeah, we did, I hope. Yep, okay, good. The tank's topped up. Sure, well, the engine will stay lit. There we go. So surfaces appear to be operational. Let's get ourselves a wild blue yonder. Get this quick flight completed. We do have a rocket on the pad. I don't think we can see it anymore. So we just left draw distance. But you can see there's a little red icon there indicating there is one. That's great. ourselves some sort of decent altitude here. And we're going to fly in between these two cloud layers because it looks pretty cool. generation airplane, and it's only had basic maintenance. We haven't had any real major mechanical failures on this one. All the other ones in this production run have been retired. All right, we are now at a reasonable cruising altitude. We should be humming along here for just a few minutes. While we're waiting to get there, let's check out things here. We have our Backa B rover, which we're going to keep on ice until the 100-day window, which is coming up in about 54 days. This 100-day window is a window that is going to get us to Eve in 100 days for less than 3,000 meters per second. At least that's what the pork chop plot says. We'll see. Pork chops never lied. The question is, can the pilot execute the pork chop? We have our Sentinel telescope, which is only 12 days away from its maneuver. This Sentinel telescope has been out there for a better part of a year, on its way to the other side of the sun, basically. Launch that to a fairly high altitude, somewhere between Dune and Dres, and it's going to be scouting for comets, but it's going to take another 12 days to reach its maneuver point and get itself in position to begin that scan. Finally, hopefully, we'll be able to complete that comet contract. We had that for a long time. What else do we have here? We are rolling back. Oh, I guess we should read it last. We're rolling back our Eve mission because we just purchased some extra science and we want to install that science part. So we're rolling back an entire rocket to install a science part, and then we're going to have to roll it all the way back again. Okay, there's our target. There's no way that we're going to earn any safety badges for this flight, since we've already knocked everyone unconscious a few times. Engines. From here, from Sandy Island, we go to Jeb Junkyard Spacecraft Junk, whatever it is, the airfield is called. Back to KSC, that's a very quick flight. Then we will launch our Eve mission propulsion stage, nicknamed Bad TV. actually going to need fuel this time. Looks like you can get pretty close to the stairs. I don't see a way to get quite to the top. Alright, everybody off. Let's go. We're not in our spot here. Oh, there we go. So impatient, and then just as I go to look for it, it tells me I'm clear for takeoff. I guess some sort of mind game, honestly. Okay, we're off to Jeb's Junkyard. Spaceship Emporium. Nothing's gonna matter too much which side we fly from. Okay, let's boot it. Don't quite need afterburners, although this is still a pretty short runway. Junkyard and Spaceship Emporium. For some reason, every time we land in Jeb's Junkyard, it's raining. What that means? See if that holds true. Just 400 kilometers. Everyone's having a good evening so far. That gold looks a little green in this reflection. I guess gold plus reflection of the blue. Once we wrap up the stream here, KSP, thinking I might actually do another live stream of the Ridge Racer cabinet, playing, well, not Ridge Racer, however, instead of Ridge Racer, we'll load up Ace Driver Victory Lap. I've had a few good races there, and just about caught Aaron Senna 94 on the challenging city circuit. So I might actually have a chance in passing him on the leaderboard, as I got to within a second of his time on a 3-lap race in Expert. Maybe we'll try that next. Those instructions don't look quite right. Okay, we're just a few minutes away from landing. Enjoy a little more of the Seabird classics from the 60s and 70s. That looks like the storm cloud we flew through. It's pretty crazy. SSTO, but a suborbital plane that I think I might develop. We only have the afterburning turbofan engines. We don't even have the other ones. Sort of, it's not scramjet. But there's another level of engines that are above the afterburning turbofan engines, and they would be great. Hey, what's down there? Oh, coal. It'd be great to have. Try to build an SSTO, but in the meantime, I think what I'll try to do is create something that's similar to this design, but will have a rocket engine that will allow it to go into a suborbital plane, so we can cut down these longer flights down to just a few minutes. Is that Jebs? Yeah, okay. Here's Jebs. It's still pretty good. Looks like it might be raining. Flyby, do you? So Jeb gets off on that kind of thing. Discovered something Jeb barn. Sure. I've been here 20 times. You better spread some speed up here. This thing's one level up from being a grass runway. Maybe it is grass. It is grass. Very Jeb. Jeb's Junkyard Air Terminal. Alright, everybody off. Next stop is home. 200 and not even 100 kilometers. That is a big day. I don't even think we can get up to altitude with the turbo. The afterburners on just fly on that. Well, no, let's kick it in and get one quick. Come on, everybody. Boot it. But there's a little. That's the spot where the secret agent spawns. Secret agent mission, the guy spawns right here. You have to walk him off a cliff, but luckily he keeps turn into smoke. Alright, let's go. We do not need fuel. clock, so I knew how many hours of flight time I had. I do have a basic gauge here. It says here at 3 days, 3 hours, so this is a day. Is it 12 hours? Kerbin Day is about 24 hours. Second. Yep. Wow, that's a crazy stuff. We'll do a little flyover and then we'll come back and let everyone on board have a look at the rocket before we set it off into space. $11K, 10K. As soon as it hits 2.2K, it'll give us a comfortable pop in as it loads the physics. That bubble has been setting, that's great. Well, that's good. At least we didn't generate a sonic boom too close to the rocket on the pad. Off to the left, you'll see the ignition propulsion stage. Nice and steamy and ready to go. It's kind of uncomfortable popping in and out of physics major. I'm hoping we don't actually end up damaging as a result of the high gains. You never know what kind of things can happen. Kraken attacks, as it were, you know. That's cool. You can see it on the pad out there. Looks like these guys had some rain. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that effect. Okay, let's, still can't believe this thing doesn't, have anything wrong with it. Is this the 500 model? Yeah, it is the 500 model. That puts it very old. Of course, I say that now, it'll explode the next time I fly it.
We noticed one of those didn't have 5 balls on it.
All right, did you get the parking angles on both the pieces?
Roger, we got them.
There we go. I don't know how much of these settings are going to be persistent, but I kind of want to get these set up in case they do stick, so I can just come back to it if I need to.
Delta P is plus 0.4, and we're going to secure the high gain and give you option
orbit on this one.
Roger, 15, we copy.
Resource. My spot vessel view.
Completed using up the last of the film with the pan camera. You may now go pan camera mode standby. And after 1 minute, pan camera power off.
There's a reason for that. And tapping this button here. Is there one here? Yeah. Let's see if tapping this button has any effect. So it corrected this screen here, but it didn't affect the camera. Let's toggle the vessel view. See if that fixes it. No.
Roger, you're 5 by, and I'd like to give you an overview now on the chute troubleshooting.
There's a reason.
Okay, I'm hanging here in the center. I don't have the helmet on yet, but I do have everything else connected. Roger on.
Upside down.
Okay, good. Okay, the basic plan is, after we get Joe's EMU configured properly, we're going to depress the airlock to 9 psi and have you do some troubleshooting on the fan and see if we can get it to operate better in the lower pressure. That's the basic purpose of the thing.
Okay, I think that is a reasonable amount of
I
visualization. I don't know what's going to happen if I fly from here.
Okay.
Whether it thinks it's upside down.
Good try, and of course we would
This
also
says it
hope
doesn't
as
think
a
it's
side
upside
light that your pressure regulator would work better than it did last time. And one condition for this whole test is that it work as well as it did before.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, now I gave you the configuration for the EV2 suit over Guam. Do you need me to repeat that?
Alright, looks like Mission Control has handed over control of the rocket to us. We shall get off. This is the E propulsion stage. Engine's lit. Glad that all engines lit, because this would not have gone well with only one of these lighting. We do have a backup of the propulsion stage, but it would have meant building a whole other one of the payload. That would have sucked. The first stage is completely expendable. The later version of this is recovered, but this one here was quick and dirty and designed just to be dropped into the ocean. Targeting for around 100 kilometers as an orbit. Throttling it back there as things lighten the load. Map webs is up to 50K. 102. 102 will do it. That's excellent. I see there are no separatrons on this stage. Let's call how we can get here. We get free of that stage safely. A little hinky, but I think we're going to be all right. Coming up into this burn pretty quickly, actually. We will not be going to full thrust immediately because the odds of that exploding are nearly 100%. We'll be lighting the engines here in only 25 seconds. Definitely need to put separatrons on that if we launch this again. We should drop that payload ferry. Let's see if we can throttle back even a little more. 11's trying to drop this payload ferry, but we do have to. And we have done it safely. Okay, let's go. And there we get an idea as to why I thought we were upside down. Because the payload is upside down. Seconds and shut down. That is close enough. I would have preferred that to be a little closer to 100 by 100. That's fine. We can now safely drop this stage. This one would be on this one. All right, so we were here. This is looking fairly solid. I imagine this has a ridiculous amount of delta V. But because of the engine plate here, it's not going to tell us. 8,328 meters per second of delta V. Of course, that's without the payload, which we're going to have to dock to this. We don't even have the large payload or the large docking rings unlocked yet. This is such a Mickey Mouse mission. We'll be lucky if we don't kill half the crew. Literally, we killed 3/4 of the crew on the mid-duty mission, so killing half the crew would probably be an improvement. Okay, that was a pretty successful milestone. That can do its thing in orbit for the next... Well, it can't be any more than 54 days. And we are waiting for the Eve Badass, the actual crew mission, to roll its way back. In about a day, we are recovering the plane in about an hour. Yeah, that's a pretty good place. Is that still day 366? That was a busy day. Two air flights and one rocket flight. Let's skip ahead a little bit. No more electrocharge on the bad PP probe. I think that's the deorbiting part of the probe, actually, so I think that's okay. Recover the plane. Let's see here what's next. The Eve backup rover, which we are not going to roll out until we need it, if we need it. You know, the rover only has one shot because it's completely ballistic payload. We will roll one of these out. Is that what just got finished here? Ever? Yeah, let's roll it out. Eve Badass is still rolling back. Euro's going to be rolling out even before Eve Badass rolls back. That's wild. That Ever is nice and small. Why not? Let's go. Oh, it's not even the full mission. It's just the test probe. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, we just don't need that then, do we? Recover to VAB. I guess if we need to really build one, we can, but honestly, I'm pretty confident that the Eve rover mission is going to go fairly successfully. As long as it doesn't land in plutonium, that's the oceans of Eve. If it doesn't land in water, it should go fine. Alright, so as that recovers... Conditioning... Waiting for this to get back so I can put that science part on it. Oh wait, the science part's not even built yet. 32 days. So... What do we got here? The rollback will be complete in 17 minutes. Now I know there are a few mods and there are a few tweaks we need to do to this thing anyways, because I think I noticed that at least one of the parts I did not install shielding correctly. So let's go back. Since it's back in the VAB, let's just make sure that we put enough radiation shielding on everything. We don't want to irradiate our Kerbals more than they already are. Looks like this variant here is recovered. Yeah, so this is the same sustainer stage, same first stage, but it is propulsively recovered. That's cool. Here's our mission. Let's just make sure. Yeah, I knew it. No shielding. Full shielding on that. I think these don't even need it. These are just hydroponics. That's got good shielding. Why is it not max? Max, 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 max. Max, max. The reason we need really good shielding is because we're going closer to the sun than Duna, and Duna guys got pretty cooked. And we need to protect them against those nasty solar storms, because that's what claimed the last one. So those installations there, the upgrading of the shielding is going to take just 3 hours. Okay, well, go do it. Do your thing. Those little Kerbals are running around, looking busy. To move that to top. And just 3 hours. Okay. Close. Cover. Recover the half a rocket. The Eve upgrade. Here's that Eve window, which we've sent already pretty much most of our payload. Do nothing. Ah, we have first new design aircraft in a long time. One day. That thing should have ridiculous range. But it's still not suborbital. Okay, so Weird New Lander 3K all up T is in 26 days. Our tech unlocks in 30 days. Our last chance Eve window is in 51 days. I think we might actually make it. But this is a great place to save. 11,369. Let's skip ahead a little. Oh my goodness, our next event is our Sentinel. This is extremely exciting. I have been waiting for this course correction burn. Reaction wheel fail on a ancient craft we don't care about. Let's just jump out there. This thing should be way out there. I do hope we have communications out here, actually. Left it spinning for reasons unknown. I think probably just to see if it would be still spinning when we came back. Let's halt the spin. And communication's not bad. Direct connection to KSC. How far are we now? I think we're just about on the opposite end, yeah. So we don't get much further away from KSC than this. So yeah, there's our orbit here. We're just past Duna. Not quite between Duna and Dres, but definitely past Duna. We're outside of Duna's SOI anyway. That course correction in 4 days. Pretty big burn, 1,154 meters per second. Do a quick save for good luck. Make sure nothing else coming up sooner. Nope. Okay, let's skip ahead 4 days. I'm not in love with that. What's the deal? No probe control. Do we just... Oh, there must have been some sort of solar activity. We reestablish control. This is probably going to take a while here. 1 minute. Engine's lit. Always good. First time we've seen some lit in 381 days. Just about a year. I'll be really happy to knock this contract off. 381 days. It's been out here. We picked up a contract long before that. We didn't even have... it's been a while. Why all the engines instead of just one? Sufficient one. Because I had a pretty good thought that I was going to lose at least 2 of these engines. Very surprised I didn't lose any of them, actually. I figured with this many engines, no matter if I lost 2 or 3, I could still balance it out fairly well. And there they go. 381 days in space, and fired up nicely. 5 seconds to engine shut down. Sure if we're going to see anything up here in the contract. There's a Sandy Island, Jeff's Junkyard, vessel complete, vessel complete, vessel complete. 7 seconds. Sure that's close enough. Let's see what we got here. Let's make it nice and round. Oh, how far away is that? Look, doesn't look like it's far away, but it's 44 days. Okay, not skip ahead. What's the dealio here? Doing it. Ike space, Ike flight. Build a moon base, moonstone, camping trip. There we go. Aha! We have done our achieve orbit around the sun. Fantastic. The detect 2 comets. That's just supposed to happen over time. I don't know how long it's going to take. Let's just make sure that the satellite is actually on. Infrared. There we go. Start object tracking. Is now mapping asteroids. Whatever. I don't know why that says invalid situation. Stopped. Infrared telescope invalid situation. Well, this science part here is referring to the Kerbalism part. I don't think that has anything to do with the actual comet detection. Well, let's see what happens. This comet detection is supposed to happen naturally over time. I'll have to go look for the Kerbalism documentation to see what the deal is. Where do you learn that anyways? Down here somewhere? Current vessel, infrared telescope. Space high. Bodies allowed home body. So yeah, right there. I mean, right there. It tells us that the specifications of the science here. That's Kerbin. And the specifications of the contract conflict with each other. So we're going to go with the contract specification because that's what's paying us money for it. So we're going to say that we have met that part of the contract and hope that those comets get detected. And if they don't, maybe in 6 months we'll come back and just manually complete that contract because we've done what it says to do. All right, so what is next in our space program? Very busy night. I think what's next is waiting 21 days for this technology, advanced science tech to complete. Let's just go ahead. 3 KLKO, 3 Kerbin, low Kerbin orbit. That's very basic. 3 Kerbin, just good enough to carry crew up to LKO when needed. And that's just for a backup. So waiting for that to get done. Got another one of our airplanes coming up ready here. 3 days. Gonna have a whole bunch of new aircraft ready to do flights once we get this Eve mission underway. Matured. What does that mean? Oh, why do we not have radio communications here? No probe control. What have we lost? Is it a solar storm? Yep. Solar storm in progress. 2 hours. Not a good time to be outside. What does matured mean? I wonder. Oh, you mean capitalism? I don't think I have ever heard anyone call capitalism mature. Tech. 14 days. Weird new landed 3K. T completed in 11 days. Once that's done, let's roll it out. Roll that out to KSC main. We won't be flying it for a little bit because we don't really have a crew. Most of our crew are either irradiated or dedicated to the Eve mission because they're not irradiated. I'm not sure what you mean by progressing either. Not sure that I would call anything that humans do progress. Most most of the time, I think I've noticed humans leave pretty much a wake of destruction and wreckage in their trail. I don't know why anyone wants to drag that nonsense into space and mess that up too. Of course, I enjoy playing the games because I'm a nerd, but from a philosophical standpoint, humans are a wreck. Come on, you gotta face it. So the lander, it's a moon-capable landing mission. Aircraft ready in a day. Oh man, the science is never gonna get ready. Can't believe we're delaying our launch for this ridiculously small part. 22 days to our window close. Ay, ay, ay. There we are. Advanced science complete 1 day. It's killing me that we are done. I like your optimism. I don't believe in your optimism. I like it. Ah, right. Badass. Let's get that science part installed. In storage. EVAD-S edit. We've already added the extra shielding. I'm reasonably sure that the first stage is going to work correctly. Although this is a little bit of a heavier rocket. Alright, so while we're here, let's double check staging. Bippity boop, bippity boop, bippity bop. Bing, bang, boom, bing. Bing. What's this? Bing. These are these. Yeah. And that, oh, that's later. That's later. Okay. Let's make sure this is tippity do. And that is on. And this is... I don't need to disable the crossfeed as long as this is disabled. Okay, that's good. I'm not in love with the lack of struts here. There we go. Should add a little stability. I'm not sure that it needed it, but it's got it anyway. And then the whole thing we delayed the mission for this negative gravity detector. 12,000 funds just to buy the thing. First time, that's mental. We only need one. Where's our science parts? Here we go. And waiting. And it only adds a day, so it's going to take a day to install. Oh, I didn't even notice what the rollout time was, but it's got to be a couple of days. Data complete. Come on. Is this the last thing we have in the hopper? Holy cow. No vessels under construction. When was the last time we saw that? I feel like I should build something. I think I will. I think I'm just going to set one of these up to build just in case something terrible happens. Okay, evads in storage. Ah, we have failed to roll out our crew. We want 4K LKO plus. And roll that one out. Rolling everything out to the pad. Some kind of relay battery died. That's fine. Oh, I think things will change here on Earth. I think we're all going to be eating bugs in 10 years. The lucky ones, I mean. Here's our crew. We don't need to send a crew up before we send up the actual mission, so let's wait for this to go. Okay, we're at year 11, day 403. We're still 17 days away from our 100-day window. We're doing not too bad. 11,403. Let's not make it harder on ourselves. I'm pretty sure those nuclear engines can light a reasonable amount of times. I'm hoping that they can light 10 times without an engineer servicing them. We do have an engineer on board, of course. It's one of these. Well, let's just pick one. See if it's the right one. Hey, terrific. It's the right one. So what do we need to put this into a circular orbit today? Ah, look at that. We're just about on top of it. Not to lose radio communication there. Oh, look at that. Terrific. E-Station 1 is still in orbit and still providing a little bit of relay. Before we do this, what do the nukes tell us? 25 ignitions. Oh, wow, that is awesome. So let's just we already had one fail on us. Ay, ay, ay. That's the way it's gonna be, is it? At least it didn't explode. Let's shut this one down. Back on course. That's why we have 4 of them. Really like to raise that current axis by 20 kilometers or so. Okay, well, that engine failure alters our mission slightly. Of course, we're going to have to fix that before we go too far. Oh, I think that's very loud. So I think what we might have to do is send up another mission, dock up to the frontier, do a service of all the engines. I don't want to send up my main engineer to do this because he's on his way to Eve. I don't want him to be spending more time in space than he has to. So we'll have to send up a backup engineer. Stop burning our CS. Oh try to fix this engine, get it serviced, but that's going to have to wait for our next stream. Let's go ahead and schedule or roll out a rocket to bring that crew up. Not great. I don't want to use a 4K LKO for that. Don't want to roll that back. Don't want to roll that back. I guess we'll have to use one of these. It's just money, right?